Good everyone, welcome to this video, and today it's a request by a guy named LightningLash, who's in my Discord server, for the Churchill Mk III. Now this tank is probably one of the more well-known British designs during World War II. This 39-ton lump is powered by a 350 horsepower Bedford engine, and this tank is famous for more than a couple of things. Number one, its horrendous reliability in its early stages. I think it was the Mark VI or the Mark VII that cleared those up. The engine was pretty shit, but it still got it along at the speed it required. Because obviously this is an infantry tank. This is what the British tanks are all about. I'll explain that more. And the Churchill also had a unique ability of climbing hills. There was one hill, I can't remember the name of the hill. I know it's hill number something. And a group of Churchills basically just drove up the side of that hill and just massacred the Germans up there because they didn't think a tank could get up there. Yeah, they soon corrected that when they saw Churchills rolling over it, that's for definite. But the Churchill is a tank that, yeah, it's been a bit power creeped. It's a bit like the Tiger, really. But the thing is about the Churchill is that you can actually do better than a Tiger thanks to a couple of features. Now, obviously, the turret isn't as strong. It's only 89mm thick, the side being 76.2 and the rear being 76.2. The hull armor on paper doesn't look that great. And, well, 76.2 on the front, 89 on the front here, doesn't look too great. But if we angle it like this, you can start to see where I'm on about. You'll obviously be hitting tracks, structural steel, drive wheels, additional structural steel, additional armor plates, angled armor plates. Now the lower plate can still be penetrated, but it's highly unlikely unless it's an 88mm. Now obviously angling the turret, someone could easily just shoot the turret ring, which is one of the weak spots. You've then got this flat plate of 89mm here, and there are a couple of weak spots you can still exploit, but at the same time, the Churchill is a tough tank. Now, if I was to personally say which Churchill to play, I would actually spend money on the German Churchill. The reason for that is because the German Churchill does exactly what this tank does, except it doesn't fight German guns. That's a big difference, and it is a bloody good difference. So we also get 30 smoke grenades provided by this little launcher here. We get a coax 7.92 Beezer, and the trusty old 57mm 6-pounder. This is definitely a tank that I would recommend teaming up with the Mosquito Mark 18, which you saw in the previous sub-request. However, today, I've decided to choose something a little different. I've decided to choose a Firecrest, because, well, it's been dropped to 3.3. I'm tempted to bring this thing out into ARB, especially after what Flight did with this thing, and give it another chance. But, yeah, you never know. Might give this 2,775 horsepower lump another go. I'll see. But for now, it will serve as my cast bird for this video, if we need it. But anyway, I think we should crack on. I hope you like the skin on this thing. This is one of the skins you're going to lock on the tank. And, well, let's start. So obviously, with the Churchill Mark III fighting a lot more power creep tanks, such as the Swedish tanks, even angling is not going to make a huge amount of difference because they can penetrate basically wherever they like. The Churchill is certainly a tank that, unless it's in very specific circumstances, you are still going to get penetrated for the most part. The Churchill that I found the most fun to play was the Mark VII, because if you angled that, that thing had horrendously good armor. And, oh my god, the amount of Panther players I used to piss off in that thing. Because they used to think, oh, I've got a Panther's gun, it's reliable, it can lob anything. And they'd look at the Mark VII and think, well, shit, that thing's angled, I'm not pinning that. But anyway, I'll see you all in the first game. And well, 4 seconds after I said that, we got our first game. I still edited that 4 seconds of silence anyway, because, well, what's the point of keeping that in? It makes less space on my hard drive, so, well, it makes less space on my hard drive when I obviously cut the bits out, etc. You know what I mean. It's just easier to do it that way. But I'm going to be taking the Shot Mark 9, which has actually had a penetration buff, which 132 millimeters. I'm looking forward to that. Alright, go on then, you big British lump. Oh, hello there. But anyway, I better quickly clear up some things about the British tanks. So basically, the British tanks had two major concepts. You had this thing, which is an infantry tank, which means it was heavily armoured, slow, and meant to keep the infantry. Then you had something like that Crusader over there. This Crusader right here. That's a cruiser tank. That thing's designed to be fast, lightly armoured, fast to exploit areas where tanks were less common, but the cruiser tanks still had firepower to beat them. The Churchill really outdid its usefulness after the end of the war. They did try to build something called the Black Prince, which is actually a premium in the game. But the problem was the Black Prince was A, still using the same Bedford engine, and B, it was just slow because it had a better turret with a better gun. So, yeah. I have to admit though, like, it's just, it feels nice to be back in the controls of a Churchill again. I believe I've got all the skins on this tank, so that's why I've got the skin that I do. Of course, the light tanks have rushed the cap, not giving a fuck about anyone else. That's typical. I mean, I'm not bothered by it, but that was a horrendous FPS drop then. I don't know why he's having to go at me. This thing does 15 miles an hour and that's all it ever does. Excuse me. That's the thing about the Churchill though, like, they never really went any faster than this because they had no reason to. The trick was, if you couldn't go, well, if the infantry couldn't keep up with the tank, there was no point. Okay, nothing's capping B at the moment, but I'm gonna... The fuck is your problem? Idiot. The fuck was that? He just got blown up out of nowhere. I guess you could say it was an RKO out of nowhere, like, jeez, he just got RKO'd. Let's turn it left and let's have a look down here. I don't... Can this thing even fit? Yes it can. I don't want to take the tank down somewhere where it can't fit. That's for definite. So where the fuck are the enemy tanks? I'd check your left, Chaffee. I would check your left. Jesus, ballsack! Yeah, no shit, that was a direct hit on the track. Just gonna dump a couple of smoke out. Well, at least the armor's holding. I don't get why you're using me as a shield, buddy. Right, track's up, let's roll. Oh, then give me some power. Oh, whatever died on this point was the Kappa. I've got to be so careful running. Hello. Oh, okay. You're dead. I might as well just stay in the cap at this point. Ooh. Hello there. Oh, something shooting my side. Excuse me. You are scratching the paint of the Queen. Driver gunner. Right, that one hit machine gun ball. Okay, that was a bit overkill. That was not necessary, A36, but okay. Americans. Property destruction is their middle name. Except, let's take that oil. Oh shit, what's that on the left? Chinese Sherman. Oh! Oh god. Please tell me you've killed that. Right, just take out the fucking gearbox like that, mate. Jeez. Yeah, this 6-pounder feels even better now. Check your left, buddy. Check your left. And he died to a KV-1. Hello there, sir. That one hit a machine gun port. That's why I didn't pen. Yeah, it's gonna take a bigger gun than that, buddy. Let's go for that driver's hatch. Thank you. Hey, who scratched the paint? You little shit. Right, okay, hold on. Oh yes, here's another problem with the British tanks. They don't have a fucking reverse. Go on, are you that dumb to shoot at that angle? Come on, shoot. You know you want to. Yes, those machine guns are very cute, but they're not gonna. They're just scratching the paintwork of the Queen. Come on, buddy. You're not gonna do anything. Although your mate on the left might. I really need this KV-1 despawn. Come on, buddy. You know what? I need to move because I'm going to get strafed or bombed or both. Nope, I get shot in the side through smoke. Ugh. To be fair, I was a bit aggressive there, but at the same time, this team just did not support. We'll take another Churchill though. Not a bad start. I mean, it is a Churchill. I'm surprised I got that far without dying. Or there in the first place, because of how slow this thing is. Right, since we all know how slow Churchills are, I will see you all back in the main centre of the town, because, well, this thing's fucking slow. I don't want to give anyone else grey hairs. I'll see you then. Well, welcome back. We're now back in the town. It took about a minute or two to get back here, because, well, Churchill things. Or should I say just Churchill things? This thing really is slow. But you can't really blame the tank, it was designed around that. So my team are doing pretty well. Let's take the B point again. There appears to be a medium tank coming towards the B point though. I'm not sure what though. Come on, Churchill. Come on, big boy. Let's go. You're shooting friendlies, you dumbass. Jesus, Churchill. One of the most recognisable World War II tanks. Oh dear. Teammates in a nutshell. Really? Of course he shot the fucking track. God, you should be shot at or flipping beheaded by the Queen herself. That's a crime against the Queen. Jeez. And literally all he hit was drive wheel and track. Like, ugh. That's one thing that most players apparently in World of Tanks have a problem with, is the tracks on this thing, because people keep shooting the fucking tracks. Especially on the Russian premium one that they have. This enemy team's not doing great, but to be fair, this thing's bounced a shit ton. So it's helped me get a load of points. I don't really want to spawn camp, but spawn camping in a Churchill is a rare honour. So, yeah. It's a rare honour because you don't get to do it. Alright, you just died. McDonald's lover and you can't even spell McDonald's right. God blimey. Oh, well, this battle's over at this point. I'll see you all back in the hangar. Well, welcome back to the hangar. That battle ended about a minute after I said that, so I'm kind of glad. So, like I say, Churchill Mk III, not a bad tank. I mean, if you get shot in the side, it's kind of pointless, but to be fair, most tanks can penetrate the side of this thing. But as you saw, if you keep the tank angled, it can bounce quite well. That's for definite. And if you're going to play the Churchills, I severely advise angling. It really will help out. I mean, not against guns in an up tier, but even then. But yeah, I have to say the most fun I had in the Churchill was the Mark 7. Because I mean, look at this thing. 152 millimeters of front armor. I mean, the lower plate is 139, but it's angled slightly. You then get a beef to your side or a boost to your side armor, which again increases its effectiveness. And then you've got tracks on the side, which I have actually bounced shots from this track. I mean, because people for some reason think, oh, it's side on, I'll just shoot where the track is to get the most amount of damage. But yeah. But yeah, the Mark 7 is fun. I mean, the Mark 3 was fun to play. I have to give it that. I enjoyed this tank. I'm just going to check to see if I have skins on it left. No, they're all done. Perfect. But yeah, I do advise playing the Churchill Mark III, although I would actually recommend picking up the premium German Churchill. That seems to be pretty fun. And well, if it comes up in war bonds, I will certainly be picking up for myself. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed today's request by LightningLash, and I will see you all on the next one.